Hello everybody, welcome back to another Minifig Monday. This one is going to be Halloween themed. I was gonna give you a few seconds to guess who this character is, but since I'm already gonna put the title in the video, it's not really gonna matter. And you probably already know the story, or at least some version of it. But this is the Headless Horseman from the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, both the story and the numerous versions that have existed. This particular version is heavily okay, it's straight from the Tim Burton movie. Um, it's like the closest thing that I had. I do have some other characters I'm going to show briefly, just to compare the outfits, because I was going to take some of them apart, some other figures, to make a more accurate version, but this is the one that I put together just from pieces I had. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of like what could have been concepts and stuff. This is pretty much the final version. I'll give you 360 of the Horseman here. And if before you ask or wonder or comment, no, there is no black horse to go with this character, unfortunately. I did have a black horse. I ended up selling it in a bin, and I thought I would never need it, so I got rid of it. But in the future, I may have a black horse for him to ride. For now, he's just going to be horseless. But it's a pretty sweet figure, I think. I don't know what you all think of it. But I wanted to give you a few looks at some other characters I have. So in the movie, his outfit is kind of medieval-ish. It's a little hard to tell because this movie is very dark, both in the themes and in terms of lighting. So it's a little hard to see the detail on the costume a little bit. But he appears to be wearing chainmail armor most of the time, and a red cape that is tattered, and of course, no head. So I tried to do that as close as possible. So I have a lot of knight figures. I have like 3 evil knights. This one is a dark knight, or an evil knight, and you can see the outfit is pretty, dark. It's got like lots of, metallics and black, armor. This would have worked pretty well, especially the legs, but I did not want to take this guy apart because he's a great knight and he's pretty old. His parts are a little used up or just worn down, so I did not want to take him apart. But he's a cool figure. I just wanted to show you. I did do a video on him a long time ago, but here's another knight, frightening knight. This one is a little bit more recent, and this one's different. It's like dark green. It's got a little bit of a different design. He's wearing like an overcoat with chainmail. It's a sweet figure. If you guys don't have this one, it is a fantastic figure all around. There is nothing wrong with him. I did a video on him too. You can see his detail is pretty different. I do like the Dark Knight actual look better. I think it matches the movie design better, but I just wanted to show him. I was considering taking his pauldron pieces, using them, but without a head, they're kind of loose. So, yeah. I do have a Ghost Knight, or a Fright Knight. That one is probably the closest looking, but again, I did not want to take him apart. So, yeah, you gotta think about this stuff. It's like you want to take stuff apart, but you don't. If I had multiples of the knights, I would definitely do that. I just have one of each. Here's this guy, the Highwayman, and this is probably the most accurate in terms of the Victorian era that the movie takes place in. So I wanted to use it a lot as the lighting changes, but I don't think it matches his suit very well. It more matches Ichabod Crane, more Johnny Depp's look, but not the Horseman. I just considered using this, but you know what? Again, I don't want to break him apart, so I'm not going to do that. But this is the Highwayman, a sweet figure. We already did a video on him a long while ago, so if you want to hear my thoughts, full thoughts on him, you can do that. But yeah, this is the Horseman just in general. I did use some custom parts. I considered taking Kylo Ren apart, my custom Kylo Ren. I thought about it, but I don't know. I'd rather not do that. But here are some things that I considered. as there's a loud noise going on outside. Sorry about that. I did consider giving him an actual head, but that just would have defeated the purpose. But here is a Lego skull head. It's like the most basic Lego skeleton head you can get. I have a few of them. It looks cool when it's on him, but it's not accurate. He doesn't have a head, so that doesn't really make any sense. I also considered giving him a clear head, but then again, it wouldn't make sense. But I considered it. It's just something that, you know, something that could have worked. But I also considered giving him a tattered cape, much like he has in the film. But I do not have a tattered cape in red. At least I don't think I do. If I do, it's somewhere, I don't know. But this is from a ring wraith from the Lord of the Rings theme. No, I don't have the figure fully, but it's a sweet looking design. The only problem with this cape is it doesn't stay down, like it doesn't go flat. Like if you look at the figure from the back when this cape is on one, it like juts out the back. It doesn't work the best. And also the figure falls over a lot with the cape, so it's not the best, but it looks cool for sure. I also considered giving him like neck, how do I say this? I considered giving him like neck stumps, if that makes any sense. Like minifigures don't technically have necks. Like you put the head on the peg. I can't speak. You put the head on the peg, and then you don't see the peg. It's just the head on the body. But I considered giving him like a pin, like this on there. I tried to put it on there, and it took me forever to get it off, so that did not work. I considered giving him like a stud with a hole in it, and one of these, you know, pointed pieces. It just didn't work. It didn't look that good, so he doesn't have a head at all, and it's just gravity that's keeping it on there. The armor, and lastly, I considered giving him these custom armor, you know, knee or leg pieces. So here we are, these leg pieces, also from a knight, I think. And these are Blackbeard's legs. I almost went with this completely, but I don't have the top part of it, so it doesn't match entirely. Still, just some options. But let's look at the figure itself, which is honestly pretty simple. There's not a ton of detail compared to most of the figures we've looked at in this series. This one is pretty basic, but you can tell pretty much who it is. He's got the sword, which I do have quite a few sword pieces. Most of them are being used, but this one was not, so that was nice. I do wish it was darker, but again, I would have to take that from this guy, the Dark Knight. I might do that, but he's got the sword. It's obviously iconic to this version of the character. And yeah, let me move that aside. The torso is from Batman, the Lego Movie 2 version, where he is very different to other Batman designs. He's like apocalyptic, you know, because it plays into the story of the film. But that's from Battle Ready Batman. I did have an extra, so I decided to use that. And then the legs are from a Sith Trooper from the old days of Star Wars, basically the Old Republic days, before any Jedi or anything. So yeah, that's from that leg. That's where they come from. And he's wielding a head. Of course, this is a pumpkin head, a very iconic part of the story, and I did have that on hand. I was going to use that with Jack Skellington, but the Jack figure is like more happy than angry, so I decided to keep him and Sally together. Instead, I just wanted to I finally have a use for this head. I never use this head. It just sits in the bin, but now I finally have a use for it. He's going to throw it at someone. And of course, it's on fire using one of the Ghost Rider pieces. Speaking of Ghost Rider, that also is a very similar look to this character. Like, in terms of the aesthetic, it's very similar. The armor piece, honestly, I have no idea where that came from. My mom got, like, this Lego bin quite a few years ago, and that's where most of my custom parts come from. That piece was in that bin, and I do not know where it is. I still don't know where it came from, but it's a sweet piece. It really matches the armor pads he kind of had. Well, it just looks like he has armor pads, but yeah, that's like what I wanted to do with that. And that's keeping the cape on. The cape is from a Roman commander. So, yeah, this guy has a lot of different parts. And of course, there is no head to talk about, and there is no alternate face, which makes sense. But there is printing on the back of the pumpkin head, if you're interested. So there you go, and that also gives you a look into how the flame is attached. And also, he does have red gloves, which I wanted to keep. I like that look. Yeah. And that's the Headless Horseman. Again, so part of me wishes I had a horse for him to ride, but then part of me likes that he doesn't. So, yeah, let me know what you think about that. Have you made your own Headless Horseman Minifig? What are your thoughts on this one? I know it's not super accurate, but it is what I could do without, breaking figures apart. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Also, by the way, if you haven't seen Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, it is a gothic treat. It is a great film, both in terms of its look and the story. So let me know what you think. Thank you for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I apologize for the loud noise that you heard, if you cared. And I will see you for the next Minifig Monday. More to come. Thank you once again, and have a great Halloween.